My name is Delano Christie. I'm 23 years old. I'm from a small town in Jamaica, right? It's located about 20 miles north of Torrie. Where I grew up in Jamaica wasn't really, Jamaica is a third world country, but it not necessarily is, not everywhere on there's poverty. I had everything I needed growing up. I had 3 meals a day, so I had to walk everywhere pretty much in Jamaica. I was in my hometown one day, I guess, and we usually play basketballs in the evenings. And we went to play basketball one Saturday evening, and at the complex that we were playing at, it was a college, a local college in the community, and we usually hop the fence and go play on the basketball courts there during the evenings. And one Saturday we got there, we realized there were a team of Americans there staying. He asked what I was doing this week, and I was like, well, I don't really have that much going on. So he was like, hey, you should come hang out with us this week. And then Monday came, so I strolled over there, didn't know what I was going into, and got there. Throughout the week I kind of met everyone on the team, and then about midweek I met one of the guys. His name was Andrew. We kind of became close while playing basketball there, and I remember 2 days before them leaving, I was kind of joking around with him, and I was saying like, hey, you should ask your dad if I could come play basketball with you. So we're just joking around and taking anything seriously, and then here comes the last day. So everyone's leaving, everyone's packing their stuff up to go, and then everyone left, and then we're there, and they're like, hey, we're gonna go down to the town to hit the markets or whatnot, grab some food. Do you want to come hang out with us? I was like, sure, let's do it. So we went, we had lunch, and we went to the market. I was kind of like a tour guide, make sure they got all the right prices for stuff and all that good stuff. And then we got back to the college, went out for a bit, and then we got to dinner, and I was at a table with Mark. Mark is Andrew's dad. He was at the table with us, and we started talking, and then they started asking me questions like, hey, what are your grades like in school? Have you ever like aspired to go live in the States and all that stuff? And I was just like, yeah, actually, I've always dreamt of moving to America. Like I always told my mom, like, once I graduate high school, I want to go to the US. Mark said Andrew came to him during the week and mentioned what I had said, and he's been thinking about it a lot, and he would like to offer me the opportunity to come back to America and live with them. I went home, spoke to my mom, she spoke to Mark and all that good stuff, and then I ended up moving here Christmas of 2013 that year, and I've been living here ever since. The first day I came here, I had no idea where I was going. I met Mark in Jamaica, didn't actually meet his wife until when she picked me up from the airport. I had no idea what his job was, didn't know he was a neurosurgeon. So I remember them picking up at the airport. First thing I saw, she was like, hey, where are we going? She was like, oh, I drive a BMW. I was like, oh, you drive a BMW? Like, all right, if they drive a BMW, that means they must got a really nice house. So got to the house, it was dark when we got there, so I didn't really get to see it. But I do remember from the garage to my room, it took us, I'm not exaggerating, it took us a lot of steps from the garage for me to get to my room. So that for me was very overwhelming, because in my house in Jamaica, everything was real close. It wasn't very big. Everything was real close. So the biggest shock to me was the bed. All my life, I grew up, I had to sleep on a bed where my legs hang off, right? So that was the first night I ever slept on a bed where I could lay flat down and not have my legs hang off of it. So that was a big deal to me, and I really enjoyed that. All in all, the person that's been the biggest influence on me since I've been here, I would say that is Cindy Oliver, and that's the lady who I live with now. And since I've been here and I've seen their way of life, I've seen that the life they live here, they make enough money to live an above normal life, and she doesn't use that money to, flounder herself and whatnot. She's always willing to give and always willing to help someone. And since I've been here, I've seen them come across 3 or 4 different persons who they've given quite some to help them, and those persons like turned their backs on them without saying anything like that. And that did not slow them down, or that didn't change the way they view people. Like even when they have people or person after person keep turning their backs on them, every time they help them, they're still willing to help someone if needed. And that's a big deal to me, because given my situation where I was a total stranger when I met him at the time, and they opened up their entire home to me, being willing to help me. So I kind of took on the role where, all right, technically I'm not supposed to be here. So the fact that I'm here, I'm going to make sure that every opportunity I get, I'm going to try to help someone as much as I can. So my only goal here is to be as much help as I can to everyone around me. So each Sunday mornings I serve at the church that I attend, South Point Church. I work in the sound booth on Sunday mornings for both services. Then I switch gears Sunday evenings. Ocala United meets, also another student ministry I'm a part of. We meet on Sunday nights. So I serve there as well. I help out in the tech area for them as well. And on Tuesday we have middle school lunch, where a group of leaders within United go to one of the local middle school here, and we just pick up a bunch of kids and we just take them to Zaxby's and we have lunch with them. On the weekends, I have a upward basketball team that I coach during spring, and a flag football team that I coach during the fall. So all around there, I try to make myself available to facilitate anywhere I can. All right, so given that I'm here in the States on a student visa, life for me is not the same for everyone else here. All right, so when I have a student visa, I have to be enrolled in full-time classes each semester, so 4 classes or more, and I'm only able to work on campus. All right, so they set it up for you, so if you have a student visa, you can't really, work is not a priority. Your priority is to go to school. So like me moving here, my priority was to go to school. All right, so the plan was for me to go to school, get my degree, and try to get me working as soon as possible. So a couple months before graduation, I went and spoke to my advisor, and I was saying, all right, graduation's coming up, what's my next step? He said, like, the school offers a program called OPT, where you get to work for a year and you can get paid, given that you'll be going back to complete your bachelor's right after that year is complete. So I was like, all right, let's do OPT. So I started my OPT. So that's when the teaching job came about as well. So I started doing that as well, and we got to about 8-9 months into OPT. So we got only like 3 or 4 months left until the year is completed. So I needed to know what I was gonna do after that year, because at this point I didn't have a plan yet to go back to get my bachelor's. The plan was to try to get a work visa, right? So the thing with the work visa is, I didn't know this going into it. If you want to apply for a work visa, you gotta either have a 4-year degree, or you gotta have 8 years of work experience. And how the work experience work is that 2 years of work experience is equal to one year academically. So if I don't have a 4-year degree, I gotta have at least 8 years to add up to it. 8 years of work experience to qualify as a 4-year degree. So no, I don't have a 4-year degree. I have 2 2-year degrees. And after speaking with the school, I was told that those 2-year degrees, even though I have 2 of them, it still only counts for 2 years. So here I am right now trying to apply for a work visa. I don't have the 4-year degree. I only have 2 years, the 2-year degree, and I don't have the work experience to add up to get to that 4 years. So I'm in a position like, all right, what am I gonna do? So if you don't file or get the ball moving on everything, I think 30 days after the OPT expired, then I would have 30 days, else I would have to go back to Jamaica. After that 30 days, my status will be switched to like illegal. My status will be expired, and then I'll be illegal here. So it got down to the wire. Like 3 weeks before, I was going back and forth, seeing immigration lawyers, still didn't know what to do. And I think about the week before, I had a breakdown where I was like, all right, there's no way on earth I'm gonna be able to get the work visa, because I don't have the necessary requirements to get it. So what am I gonna do? And I don't want to go back to Jamaica, because if I move back to Jamaica right now, I feel like I'll be taking a step back, you know. So I sat down with a few people that I know, the pastor of my church, and we tried to kind of figure out a plan of what we were gonna do or what we could do. And we thought that the best option for me would be to go back to school, right? So this was 2 through 3 weeks into the spring semester. So spring has already started. So now 2-3 weeks in the semester, I found out like, all right, I got to go back to school. Registrations for bachelor's already closed, so we had to start praying about that. So within about 2 to 3 days, I had to get registered in the bachelor's program at CF because I had to do all of that before my status had expired. So we were able to pull some strings at the college, and I got registered in the bachelor's program. So far it's been going well. Haven't really had any bumps or major roadblocks yet. The semester is about to be done. I was 4 weeks behind in all 4 of my classes. I managed to caught up. I got an A and a B. I got A's and B's right now, so that's good. And now I'm just basically living my life one semester at a time, you know, because I don't want to go back to Jamaica, but I got to do what I got to do right now to stay here. So yes, I want to plan long term, but I'm not really in a position to plan long term. So it's just 1 month at a time. So that's where I'm at.